Hi, Eric Lanask here in Miami. We're here for ITEXPO. Happy to be here in the state of Florida. On the studio with me today is Noreen Rosinski from Business Texter. Noreen, great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks very much for having us. We love ITEXPO. It's one of our best shows. Thanks, Eric.
So, talk to me a little bit about Business Texter. What do you do?
Well, first off, we're a startup. It's important to know as startups go that a lot of things are in the software-defined spaces or in apps today. And let me ask you a question, Eric. Do you have Microsoft that you use on your internet services?
Yes, of course.
So you have internet that you pay for separately, and you have Microsoft that you bought as a software, and you use that to be able to engage in Outlook or Word or whatever have you. We're essentially just like a Microsoft-type product. We're an intelligent business messaging solution that's used in either small businesses or could be used in carriers or anyone that actually wants to be able to have a better access for interactive messaging. So it's the messaging component that really makes a big difference. Here, let me show you. This is our actual software that's downloaded onto the device, and it actually runs on the device. 80% of it's on here, and then it's cached onto it. It actually runs as a little mini server. Has the ability to manage your contacts and manage your product list and be able to send and receive intuitively. If I wanted to be able to have information being sent back of who, what, when, and where, all those would be responded to and answered. Today, in normal business, people don't have the ability to stop and answer the phone. And when they do answer the phone, 80% of it also is IVR. We've created ITR. So instead of interactive voice recognition, we're interactive text recognition. Those software platforms that make things like that are IBM Watson is a great solution for that. We're an IBM Watson partner, and as well as on our way to being an AT&T Watson partner we're hoping for. The ability to be able to have interactive responses in a small business environment adds an amazing amount of comfort, security, self-service, and services for companies that normally can't afford them. What do you think of that?
So, love the interface. Nice and clean, nice and easy to use. Tell me a little bit more. What do you mean by when you say interactive with because texting and IM are by nature interactive, right, between two people? Sure.
Actually, the interesting question is how many people want to text is what it really comes down to. Today in this industry, nobody wants to answer the phone. So they want to be able to know that everything is text-enabled. So with Business Texter, we're going to be able to SNS-enable anybody's landline number. They'll be able to use it for all their old business names. So you're going to be able to say, I'm SMS-enabled on your websites or on your services. When doing so, you, Eric, would be able to respond back in to something or actually opt in and saying, if let's say you go to your local restaurant and you like it and you want to go back, but you're sitting there at home and you're saying, you know, I wonder what the specials are today. You pick up the phone, you call them, and they say, please leave a message and we'll make a reservation for you. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. Today you should be able to say, what are your specials? Just be messaging in the regular old phone number they have. And you should get a response of, our specials are this, and it'll respond and reply to you back and forth. But it not only does it in that environment, in concierge services, it does it in any small business. We just talked to the vet hospitals last night, matter of fact, and they said that it'd be amazing. They're starting to do texting to be able to say, oh, if your dog had a teeth cleaning, about when and what time to bring them in. Well, now they can do follow-up with it as well, because actively in the opportunity, it has when to send out the messages and when to schedule them out. So it's good in recruitment. We have the Army using this. Over 300 Army recruiters around the United States are actually using this because they've realized that the people between 18 or 16 and 29 years old, they don't want to listen. They don't even have voicemail set up. How can they reach them? How many times have you answered your voicemail in the last week?
I'll plead the fifth.
Okay, so you probably don't answer it that much either. And neither do most people. But you look at a text before you look at anything else, right? When was the last time you looked at your email? Oh, let me put it this way. If you got texted today, you'd look at it right away, right? And you wouldn't be able to as easily, even though it's on our phones, we all don't want to go through the mishigash that's actually sitting on our email systems. We want to be able to have interactive messaging. We're offering that to them.
You raised some incredibly valid points.
Thank you.
Especially, when it comes to frequency of checking different types of interactions. By enabling this kind of messaging for business users, do you run the risk of? I think one of the reasons that your points are so valid is our email inboxes have gotten so crowded.
They have.
Whereas we know that if I get a text, it's from a family member or a friend or my boss or somebody that I know has my mobile number, and it's going to be an important text. So if we extend the text messaging to everybody that effectively has access to my email inbox already, do you run the risk of crowding your messaging the way we have our email?
Well, actually, that's a great question, and the constant to that would be you're really the one who's defining who's going to message you and who isn't. It's not going to be like an email blast that gives an ability for someone to just be able to send to you because they get all these messages. The opt-in regulatory rules for that are quite different than email. Email has a spamming filter set up, and so does texting. But because you're actually asking for that information gives you the ability, as the person being the person asking, having the opt-in and opt-out. When you opt into a restaurant, you can opt out just as easily. Mm-hmm. Our opt-in and opt-out ability is actually tremendously famous. If you were to opt in, I don't think I want to use this service anymore, we would actually be able to identify with our artificial intelligence, which is what governs our whole product, the ability to be able to sense all these different keywords and be able to send back a responsive message that says, we think you're telling us you don't want to do this anymore. So for regulatory, it's the best opt-in that's ever been around. But even just saying about your ability to be able to designate who you'd want and who you'd not want, this is the key to doing that. From a business aspect, you're actually reaching out to people that are already your consumers. You're not blasting out information that's unnecessary that so many more do, because there are rules and guidelines that stand above it. This is part of the P2P messaging. It's people you know, people you want to work with, places you want to be able to engage with. And that's where it really is. The MMA is getting stricter guidelines. Hopefully the processes and policies will be in place that'll make it a better solution. And it's not A to P. A to P is when you have a short code and people just blast you. And the difference from A to P and P to P is that when I go into the Polo store, they're doing a nationwide push. That's push technology. We push also, but we only push for when somebody's actually asked for it. So that's two-way interactive messaging. Push technology, Polo store can't get my response back and says, oh, no, I don't want to know about that Polo store, or can you tell me what's closer? We can answer all those questions. That's what we do. We offer the opportunity to be able to answer intuitively responsive answers for commonly asked questions.
How are you reaching the market?
Well, today we're door knocking, and we're also creating relationships and partnerships with companies around the world. Sony's just asked us to look at being a partner with them. We're actively working and have talks with Verizon and AT&T. We really would like a lot more of the key resellers in the marketplace. We have several that are white labeling our product today and able to put it into place under their own. The people that would get the best advantage of using this are really companies and businesses, CLEX, ILEX, HARLEX, even any wireless provider that's already selling $9.95 dial tone and $35 data. We'll add messaging on as a solution where you can actually get a new ROI. We can monetize SMS. So we're not monetizing the SMS, we're monetizing the software delivery of the message that hasn't currently been done. So we are the first out to market for something like this.
Excellent. So the goal really, it sounds like, especially with the conversations with the carriers, is not to make this a downloadable situation, but have it embedded on the device when the user receives it.
We actually have both ways. That's correct. So today, our conversion rate in the Play Store is over 40%, which is amazingly high. 17% once they've downloaded it and they become a monthly subscriber, which is also amazingly high. And we want to revenue share that with the carriers. We want to revenue share it with any reseller, too, because you don't have to be a carrier to be in the Play Store. Right. Anybody can do it. And if you're offering the product, we have a great affiliate program and a great reseller program to be able to offer people up to 40 to 50%. From $5 a month to $1,000 a month, you can actually revenue share anything you want. We're happy to offer a subscriber level base and let you make your own money on it. Our whole idea is to be able to give a product to the marketplace that's going to allow businesses to grow and resellers to do something better for their own end users.
Excellent. Noreen, good to see you. Thank you so much for being on the program.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.